That'll wake you up. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Reverend Susie Matranga Watson, and I am your worship leader today. We're especially glad to have you if you have been here for the first time, and hope to see you again. I'd like you to remind you to silence, I did it, your cell phone. I'm going to put it back over here. And any other devices you may have brought in. I want to also welcome people that are on YouTube. Good morning. Our speaker today is our own Reverend Robin Zucker. Gosh. Okay, it's already starting. Oh yeah, you. Okay. Um, East Rose sits on the occupied territory of the Clackamas Chinook people who were forcibly displaced from this land to the Grand Ronde Reservation in 1855. We acknowledge the sacrifices endured by the ancestors of this land, and that our presence here today is only possible because of the injustices committed against them. We recognize the inherent sovereignty of the Chinook Nation and the Confederate Tribes of Grand Ronde, who carry on the traditions, history, and legacy held by their ancestors from time immemorial to this day. We seek meaningful relationships with these communities that foster repair. Now, let's take a moment to greet each other today, both in the chapel and online. Please stand and face the clock and wave hello to our friends online, and then turn around and say hi to your neighbor. You can finish talking with your neighbors and friends after the service when we have coffee and also goodies. I think today is Potluck Sunday, so that's always nice. Okay, this is we bid you welcome words from Richard Gilbert. We bid you welcome. And this is going to be on the screen. I say the yellow and you say the white. We bid you welcome who come with weary spirit seeking rest.
Who come with troubles that are too much with you. Who come hurt and afraid.
We bid you welcome who come with hope in your heart.
Who come with anticipation in your step. Who come proud and joyous.
We bid you welcome, who are seekers of a new faith.
Who come to grow and explore. Who come to learn.
We bid you welcome, who enter this hall as a homecoming.
Who have found here room for your spirit. Who find in this people a family.
Whoever you are, whatever you are, wherever you are on your journey. We bid you welcome. beautiful. The chalice lighting words are from Sengye Hake. With the lightning of this flame, let us grow in the radiance of joy. With the lightning of this flame, let us spark the brilliance of hope. With the lightning of this flame, let us shine upon our hearts of all those who suffer, who yearn, and who crave the joyous noise of community. All beings, not one left behind.
Thank you, Susie. Good morning, everyone. It's good to see you all today. It's going to be a scorcher, but it's nice and cool in here so far. Our opening words today is a piece I saw in the New York Times by Callie Olterman. Elmo asks an innocuous question. Hi, Elmo. On a Monday in January 2024, the X account of Elmo, the fuzzy red monster from Sesame Street, posed a softball question to its 457,000 followers. Elmo is just checking in. How is everybody doing? In thousands of responses, social media users let Elmo know that no, actually, they were not doing too hot. Elmo, I'm depressed and broke, one wrote. Others told Elmo that they had been laid off, that they were anxious about the 2024 election, or that their dog had rolled around in goose feces. Elmo, each day the abyss we stare into grows a unique horror, read a response by Hanif Abdur Akib, a poet, essayist, and contributor to the New York Times. One that has been previously unfathomable in nature. Our inevitable doom, which once accelerated in years or months or now in hours or minutes, feels closer. But the response continued, however, I did have a very good grapefruit earlier. Thanks for asking. According to X's metrics, Elmo's question was seen by more than 140 million times, with repostings. The Sesame Workshop responded that they didn't anticipate how deeply this particular question would resonate, and they're so thrilled that Elmo asked. Ms. Malton of the workshop thinks the overwhelming engagement with Elmo's post points to a dire need for free, easy-to-access mental health services. Why does Elmo keep getting dragged into the pits of despair? Perhaps it's because the monster evokes a strong sense of nostalgia for so many people, says Jess Maddox, an assistant professor of digital media at the University of Alabama. Elmo is a beloved childhood character that we associate with the simpler times in our lives, she said. When Elmo pops back into the social media feeds of adults facing burnout, inflation, and a complex geopolitical situation, she said many may find it hard not to vent to him about how their lives have changed. Well, the next day, after Elmo's status check had received more than 9,000 responses, the account posted a follow-up delivered in the character's signature third-person style. Wow, Elmo is glad he asked, it read. Elmo learned that it's important to ask a friend how they are doing. In one reply, a user wrote, somehow this actually legit makes me feel better. Our opening hymn is number 354, We Laugh, We Cry. It's in the gray hymnal. The words will be on the screen, and please rise as you are able. Please be seated. So it is the first Sunday of the month, and you know what that means. In addition to potluck, we're going to sing our birthday song. Who has a May birthday? Raise your hand if you have a May birthday. Just one of you? Wow. Oh, and you too. Great. Well, we're going to sing this birthday song to you. The words are on the screen. Mary? And now Tara's going to come up with the children for the story.
Good morning. Today we're going to hear a story about feelings. Sometimes we can't tell how someone is feeling, and that's why it's so important that we're gentle with each other. Because even when everything looks okay on the outside, someone might have a worry on the inside that feels really big. Today we're going to hear a story about a girl named Ruby who finds a worry and learns what helps with it. This is Ruby Finds a Worry by Tom Percival. Ruby loved being Ruby. She loved to swing up high, and she loved to explore wild, faraway places. Sometimes she even went all the way to the very bottom of the garden. Ruby was perfectly happy until one day she discovered a worry. It wasn't a very big worry. In fact, it was so small that at first Ruby hardly noticed it. But then the worry started to grow. Each day it got a little bit bigger. It just wouldn't leave her alone. It was there at breakfast, staring at her over the cereal box. And it was still there at night when she brushed her teeth. The funny thing was that no one else could see Ruby's worry, not even her teacher. So Ruby pretended that she couldn't see it either. She tried to carry on as if everything was normal, but it just wasn't. The worry was always there, stopping her from doing the things that she loved. Ruby wondered if the worry would ever go away. What if it didn't? What if it stayed with her forever? Ruby didn't realize it, but she was doing the worst thing you can ever do with a worry. She was worrying about it. Now the worry was enormous. It could barely fit in the kitchen at dinner time. It filled up half the school bus. And it took up whole rows at the movie theater. The worry became the only thing that Ruby could think about, and it seemed like she would never feel happy again. Then one day, something unexpected happened. Ruby noticed a boy sitting alone at the park. He looked how she felt, sad. And then she noticed something else, something hovering next to him. Could it be a worry? It was. Ruby realized that she wasn't the only person with a worry after all. Other people had them too. She asked the boy what was on his mind, and as he told her, the strangest thing happened. His worry began to shrink. Then Ruby did the best thing you can ever do if you have a worry. She talked about it. As the words tumbled out, Ruby's worry began to shrink until it was barely there at all. Soon, both of their worries were gone. Finally, Ruby felt like herself again. Of course, that wasn't the last time she ever had a worry. Everyone gets them from time to time. But now that she knew how to get rid of them, they never hung around for long. Everyone has worries sometimes, but when we share them with someone who cares, they can start to feel a little smaller. And now it's that time when we say to the grown-ups, goodbye, see you at the potluck. If the adults along the center aisle will form a bridge, we'll sing the children out.
And now I'm inviting Katie up, our president, with a stewardship update.
I wonder if this will sit here for you. And that's it. Okay, thank you. Hi, I'm coloring. And I love coloring. And I just got a little note that I can color up to here. So what we're seeing, we're coloring the whole stem of the chalice. And I'll explain to those who didn't see this before, this is our little meter for measuring how we're doing in our stewardship campaign. And the illustration shows us that the chalice is our foundation, and it covers our costs of building and grounds, and then operations and administration comes up to here, so we're getting there, you know. And then the flame and the flame will be worship, Sunday service, and RE, religious exploration. And then the petals around the outside are our programs. So we got some distance to go, but we got a good start. So I just want to remind everyone that you should have received a pledge packet already in the mail, and if you haven't, come see me or the office. They're in the office, and I think there's some on the front table.
There's some packets.
Okay, cool. So please, the sooner we can get the packets in, the sooner we can make our budget. And we have a meeting coming up for, the congregational meeting comes up at the end of this month, and we'll be voting on that budget. And I want to make sure we can fund the programs. So let's do what we can. 150 is a stretch goal, so don't get freaked out by that. Yeah, being able to get up to at least 130, 140, it would be really helpful. And then also we do have other sources of income. It's just that they're kind of small. So just wanted to make sure you all were aware of where we were. I'm going to color it in. I have my markers with me, but I'm not going to do it live. Also, I've decided I'm going to do a series of color pages. So. You can grab one for yourself or your child, and since it's this is Be Kind to Your Mind, and I have 2 kids doing yoga, and also I thought, I want my pet animal friends to do yoga too, so there's you can choose between animals and friends, or both.
Thank you, Katie.
Yeah, thanks everybody.
If this is your first time with us, this is where we leave some words behind and we just enter into some quiet time together. So I invite you to close your eyes and put your feet on the floor, open your hands, perhaps lay them in your lap, and take a big inhale and exhale to start. Drop your shoulders, really drop them. Soften your face, your jaw. Feel where you're feeling tension there, your forehead. See if you can soften your face. Begin some intentional breathing. 4 beats in slowly through your nose, 5 or 6 beats out slowly through your mouth, creating a rhythm that's comfortable for you. And while you're doing that, create spaciousness in your body, beginning at the top of your head, and going down through your arms, your body, your legs, softening and creating spaciousness, and a place just for spirit to circulate and enliven you. We'll just breathe together. 4 beats in through the nose, 5 or 6 beats out through the mouth. While you breathe, I offer this prayer. Mysterious presence, Spirit of life, we are gathered here today in compassion and shared hope for companionship, for healing, for peace. We bring ourselves in joy and in despair to this safe and sacred space where we can seek comfort and connection. We ask for patience, for forgiveness, for acceptance, for presence. We pray for those amongst us who struggle with their mental health within themselves or within their families and other relationships. Today, we appeal for love and understanding to replace fear and taboos. We pray that those suffering will embrace themselves and be embraced by us for their beauty, gifts, and inherent worth. We give thanks for the beloveds and healthcare workers who witness and care for us. May our eyes and our hearts be opened, and may we love open wide. Blessed be. Slowly come out of your breathing. Maybe do a couple more rounds. And then a big exhale. We'll remain seated for our spirit song. It's number 1031 in the small teal hymnal. The words will also be on the screen, filled with loving kindness.
I have two readings. The first one may be hard to listen to, or you may say, yep, that's exactly what I'm feeling. The first one is from Richard Skykin, Self-Portrait Against Red Wallpaper. Close the blinds and kill the birds. I surrender my desire for a logical accumulation. I surrender my desire to be healed, the blurriness of being alive. Take it or leave it. For the most part, you take it. Not just the idea of it, but the ramifications of it. People love to hate themselves, avoiding necessary calibrations. Shame comes from vanity. Shame means you're guilty, like the rest of us, but you think you are better than we are. Maybe you are. What would a better me paint? There is no new me. There is no old me. There is just me, the same me the whole time. Vanity, vanity, forcing your will on the world. Don't try to make a stronger win. You'll wear yourself out. Build a better sail. You want to solve something? Get out of your own way. What's the difference between me and the world? Compartmentalization. The world doesn't know what to do with my love because it isn't used to being love. It's a framework problem. Disheartening? Obviously, I hope to love. It's love. I'm trying really hard to make it love. I said no more severity. I said it, severity, and slept through all my appointments. I clawed my way into the light, but the light is just as scary. I'd rather quit. I'd rather be sad. It's too much work. Admirable? Not really. I hate my friends. And when I hate my friends, I failed myself, failed to share my compassion. I shine a light on them of my own making, septic, ugly, the wrong yellow. I mean, maybe it's better if my opponent wins. This is a poem from Reverend Kate Landis. You are loved. I want you to know that you are loved beyond your wildest imaginations by the spirit of creation. Every bit of you is holy, even the embarrassing parts, even the thoughts you wouldn't tell your best friend. God is in your every cell, calling you to live a loving, joyful, boisterous life, to go easier on yourself, to accept that you are a blessing, to spread the word that there is no original sin, that we are all glorious gifts to a world that desperately needs us. I want you to know that you are a strand in the web of all existence, one dewdrop spangled thread reflecting the early morning sun, connected to every other living creature, frogs, mushrooms, great blue whales, and you. You are never alone. You were born into a huge family of life. Sit in the grass and know that it is your sibling. Watch the crows circle and think of them as gossiping cousins. This is your world, and you are worthy.
Do you love to laugh loud and long and clear? Uncle Albert does, and it's getting worse every year. You may recall this jocular, quirky character from the seemingly issue-free Disney classic Mary Poppins. Can you picture that scene, if you've seen the movie, and I'm sure many of us have? When Mary and her young charges, Jane and Michael Banks, arrive for tea, they discover the old chap hovering near the ceiling, chuckling uncontrollably. If only they'll laugh with him, he explains, they can join in the fun. And everyone has a grand time until the biscuits and jam are consumed, and then the whole party comes plummeting unceremoniously to the floor. And that is what bipolar disorder is like, I've been told. Dancing on the ceiling and then crashing to the floor. Once referred to as manic depression, bipolar disorder involves major episodes of melancholia and mania. Sometimes the dips and climbs can be bewildering and rapid, and other times more subtle and flowing. Throughout each of my ministries, congregants have shared their personal reflections about the disturbing realities and bruising impact of mental illness on the sufferers and their families. They've spoken of feeling alone, like Edgar Allan Poe, and hopeful, like Emily Dickinson, of being undone by demons and lifted by the steadfastness of family and friends. I've been so grateful for that trust, courage, and honesty, and every week this trust and courage is demonstrated here during joys and sorrows, when congregants share the bright moments and the shadows in their lives. It's a beautiful and rare thing. We're here this morning to courageously and honestly learn and think about mental health and mental illness. The topic is one that might be referred to in ministerial parlance as a toughie. How could I possibly do justice to the complex truths of mental illness and mental health in one sermon? Well, I can't, and I won't try. My objectives today are a few: to present facts rather than myths, to stop the stigma and increase awareness about its impact on individuals and families, and to explore how we might expand our empathy and increase our support for those amongst us and in your own lives affected by its ravages. Now, I warn you, I do try to put humor in my sermons. There is very little appropriate humor related to this topic. It's more with a if I don't laugh, I'll cry area of funny, such as the tale one of my college friends once told a group of us about one of her Thanksgiving breaks in New Jersey, when her schizophrenic uncle hurled the stuffed turkey through the living room bay window because he thought it was on fire. She told the story so dramatically and vividly that we were just on the floor laughing in the cafeteria until we composed ourselves and said almost in unison, it really isn't funny when you stop to think about it. And it wasn't, and it isn't. Uncle Albert may be laughing, but mental illness is rarely funny. Since one of my goals today is to disseminate accurate information, I'll begin with a brief overview of mental illness and the three conditions that have been mentioned to me most often and are most prevalent: bipolar disorder, depression, and obsessive-compulsive disorder, with anxiety an ever-growing reality in our pressurized world. And sometimes mental health isn't about an illness or a disorder. It can just be a malaise, or being in a functional freeze, or being stuck in survival mode. Now, first, it's important to understand that mental illness is not a sign of weakness or poor character or the mark of the devil or a byproduct of laziness. These diseases are as much physical conditions as epilepsy, diabetes, and arthritis. A person no more induces their own schizophrenia, for instance, than they might induce their own asthma. 1 in 5 families is affected by severe mental illness in their lifetime, And in any given year, over 5 million adults and 3 million children suffer from one of these brain disorders or some other issue. Yet only a third of those seek treatment. Mental illness is more common than cancer, heart disease, and diabetes. Yet much health insurance, maybe most, is inadequate, although this did improve under the ACA. Mental illness is the #1 reason for hospitalizations nationwide, with 20% of beds devoted to these patients. 61.5 million adults in the United States will have some sort of mental health issue in a given year. And that's one reason why every May, this month we're in right now, is designated as Mental Health Awareness Month, and why I'm preaching this sermon today. In short, mental illness or mental health issues are not rare. They affect you and your families, the person in the next row here at the fellowship, your neighbors and colleagues, shoppers at Whole Foods, no matter how shiny they look or how much organic food they purchase. Mental illness happens all around us, and not talking about it isn't going to make that not true or keep it at bay. We sense the despair of the sufferer in the poem that Susie read earlier, Self-Portrait Against Red Wallpaper. In an article for Harvard Magazine about bipolar disorder, journalist John Larriman explains that the mania phase has been described as a, quote, key to genius. It's often characterized by powerful bursts of creativity and action. And some of the world's greatest artistic and intellectual achievers are assumed to have had bipolar disorder. Van Gogh and Freud, Emily Dickinson, Charlie Parker, Cole Porter, Georgia O'Keeffe. Of course, Dickinson was a refuse, and well, Van Gogh was a suicide. For the average sufferer, mania is not a ticket to fame, nor is it an infectious good mood. In fact, many people are agitated and argumentative, even rageful during their manic phases. And left unsupervised, manic persons can harm themselves. Nearly 15% of those who are untreated commit suicide. Alcoholism and drug addiction are also frequent byproducts. In the quiet of my study many years ago, a congregant once told me tearfully about her high-strung mother, who had impulsively ripped apart her house and started 1 million unfinished projects. This same mother was addicted to heroin and had made several suicide attempts. She's often fiercely angry and resentful of the family. Stories like this one explain why I never preach Hallmark card Mother's Day sermons. Kay Redfield Jamison explores the wild blue yonder of mania in her renowned book, An Unquiet Mind, a memoir of moods and madness. She writes about the invincible hours and days when she did the inexplicable, like buy 12 snakebite kits or a horse, or 20 books about Arthurian legend, simply because she had caught a glimpse of a brook that reminded her of a passage from Tennyson's Idylls of the King. Ironically, since bipolar patients rarely complain about their manic episodes, it can be hard to diagnose them. Proper diagnosis, combined with well-managed medication, a naturally occurring compound, can be a saving grace, plus the honest involvement of friends and family to help these individuals monitor and medicate themselves properly. And then there's depression, probably the most widely reported mental health issue. It's not just the blues or a bad mood. We all have those. I'm referring to life-impacting depression. Speaking of the mental illness that stifled his creativity and his relationships, the author, William Styron, notes in his book, Darkness Visible, that depression is a true wimp of a word for such a major malady. He conjures up several metaphors for depression, each worse than the next. He says it's like a veritable howling tempest in the brain, or like being imprisoned in a fiercely overheated room where there is no breeze or escape. Abraham Lincoln described his depression to a friend in a letter saying, "I am now the most miserable man living. If what I feel were equally distributed to the whole human family, there would not be one cheerful face on earth." And that isn't something we widely know or remember about Abraham Lincoln, but he was human and depressed. 350 million people worldwide live with depression. Some battle a clinical depression so bad that it pulls a veil over everything, and others experience situational depressions, which tend to be more short-lived, and many factors can contribute to that. People whose parents or siblings suffer with depression are 3 times more likely to suffer with it themselves. But events such as divorce, the death of a loved one, job loss, trigger situational depression. Women are twice as likely as men to suffer, a possible consequence of hormonal fluctuation. Children suffer from pediatric depression at an alarming rate, and the signs are too often ignored or brushed off. In many cases, though, there are astonishing possibilities of regaining an active and balanced life. The English playwright Dodie Smith suggests noble deeds and hot baths are the best cures for depression, and if only it were that easy. But through therapy, coupled with well-chosen and calibrated medications, lives can be salvaged, renewed, and even saved. So please attend to this in yourselves and your loved ones, because with chronic, untreated depression, self-harm can just be a whisper away. And finally, we turn to obsessive-compulsive disorder, or OCD. Do you recall the compelling character named Melvin Udall, portrayed by Jack Nicholson in the great film As Good as It Gets? He barges into his shrink's office, he ritualistically locks and unlocks his doors, and he brings shrink-wrapped plastic utensils everywhere, especially to his favorite restaurant, and wants his same waitress every single time. 33 million Americans like Melvin are plagued with OCD and the accompanying intrusive thoughts and obsessions. They may constantly pace, blurt, wash their hands, count objects, or fret about imagined disasters. And these worriers can become slaves to these rituals. Marriages die, careers are ruined, young lives are stalled. Realizing these obsessions are not normal, sufferers from OCD try to hide their rituals from family and friends. Shame and embarrassment prevent them from seeking available treatment. During another one of my meetings with congregants, a mother shared that one of her children confided that voices were telling him what to do. He would stay up all night. He would talk about harming himself. He would obsess. He was understandably terrified and bewildered. And again, there's treatment and help available. But you must proactively ask for help from your pediatrician, your personal doctor, from a school counselor, from a therapist, from a community group and associations, from me, from other people here at East Rose. There are many people who can share their resources, support, and stories with you, and they want to do that. They want to rip back the veil and share the information, experiences, the pain, the journeys, even the triumphs. I appreciate the reticence to pull back that veil. Despite increased awareness of mental illness, it's everywhere in our culture now. The specter of its presence in our families or in ourselves continues to carry fear, huge taboos, and shame. The stigma surrounding mental illness is rooted, I believe, in the American system of values. We are a nation founded on the principles of self-determination, where we're told anyone can succeed if they simply try hard enough. We adhere to the bootstraps approach. which dictates that adversity can be overcome just by the application of character, willpower, and gumption, like Horatio Alger. In a survey conducted by the National Alliance for the Mentally Ill, 71% responded that mental illness was caused by emotional weakness. That's very sad. 35% noted sinful behavior. And 45% said that people may bring on their own illnesses. And only 10% believed that mental disorders had a biological basis. So this seems shocking to me in 2026 and certainly indicates that more education is needed in sermons like this. Facts, not myths. The stigma has been around for a very long time. In colonial America, when families were unable or unwilling to provide care, the mentally ill were shackled and jailed. During the 19th century and well into the 20th, English families sent mentally ill relatives off to asylums in order to preserve their standing in society. Even today, some doctors are reluctant to recognize mental illness as a disease, blaming the patient for getting themselves in a pickle. Families who aren't educated and haven't done any research, they can buy into this and go into hiding. They got themselves into a pickle. We'd rather think, cheer up, you'll pull yourself out of this, we all have bad days, or, well, he's just quirky, or she's one of those moody teenagers, or he has such a temper, or they're just a sensitive child. We cling to the view that our families should be like the All-American Cleavers in TV's Leave It to Beaver, though ironically, Tony Dow, the actor who portrayed the big brother Wally, the affable big brother, suffers from bipolar disorder. The entire family is controlled by mental illness, like the proverbial sword of Damocles dangling precariously over everyone's head. Dreams can shatter, scripts can be blown to bits, brilliant futures can evaporate. Even the most basic domestic serenity is elusive. There are a lot of if-onlys, and there is a lot of grief. A friend shared with me how his siblings' manic-depressive behavior drove a wedge into the family, and how years of anger and frustration have led to a heartbreaking sadness. He told me she never knew how much pain she caused. The question remains, to what extent would you go to preserve the views others have of you as a psychological Iron Man or a spiritual Wonder Woman? Would you endure unspeakable pain rather than accept that you cannot ward off mental illness with your will, your intellect, or your denial? No amount of protocols and positive thinking is enough for most mental health issues. Despite what the piles of Get Happy books espouse and promise, even the father of positive psychology himself, Dr. Martin Seligman, underscores that you have to be at least at the ground level in order to shift your thoughts from negative to positive. As he put it many years ago when I studied with him, when I did the Authentic Happiness Coaching Program, many years ago now, he said, you can't be in the ground and expect to see and feel the sun on your face. And he knows he was a depressed alcoholic until he pulled himself out of that hole and wrote his book about positive psychology. I realize this has been an intense sermon. I warned you at the beginning. So, okay, here's my one stab at thematic levity this morning, courtesy of the New Yorker, naturally, a cartoon, naturally. This one depicting an anxious-looking man laying on a therapist's couch with a washboard, a cymbal, a drum, a kazoo, an accordion, and other musical paraphernalia scattered on the floor around him. And the caption is his lament, "My one-man band is breaking up." It's a good one. Writer and minister Frederick Buechner, speaking of humankind in general, offers a more serious commentary on this brokenness, writing, The fragmentary nature of our experience shatters us into fragments, yet we carry within us a vision of wholeness. As a church community, we can do more to catch these shattered pieces in our outstretched hands. And although those pieces may never be restored into complete wholeness, we can maintain together the vision of wholeness, which releases our empathy for those amongst us who are most broken. And we can speak up in the public square. People with mental health issues need their own stonewall to stem the growing tide of incarceration as a substitute for medical care. We need to lobby for better and more hospitals dedicated to mental health. As an aside, a humane asylum system in the United States was spearheaded in the 1840s by Universalist activist Dorothea Dix. Like Elmo, we can ask, how are you doing? We can listen to one another, abide with one another, hold one another's hand, open our hearts, encourage, sustain, and even share joy when it arises. We can educate ourselves and increase our awareness of what mental illness is and what it isn't. We can stop labeling and being irrationally afraid. We can stop fooling ourselves that it just happens to other people and other families, and we can shelter those among us standing vigil to catch their loved ones who are often crashing to the floor in free falls of despair, confusion, and fear. May we abide with those who pose desperate, profound, and hopeful questions for the abyss, and may we answer with a nurturing presence that may quiet, even briefly, a troubled mind. May the spirit of healing touch us all. Blessed be. Our final hymn is number 86, Blessed Spirit of My Life. Please rise as you are able. Please be seated.
During our offering, we share the cash offered with a local organization doing good works in the community. Portland Immigrant Rights Coalition is our Sharing the Bounty partner from March through August. They work to empower immigrants, unite families, and build a just community. PIRC maintains a hotline to report ICE activity, provides referrals to legal aid and social services, trains rapid response migrant watchers, and maintains a daily presence in the Portland Immigration Court and ICE building. If you are attending online, you may donate by visiting our website and clicking on the donate button, or you may scan the QR code on the screen. If you are here for the first time, we invite you to let the basket pass and truly be our guests. The gifts of the congregation will be most gratefully received.
Let's join together in our offering response. It's number 1010 in the teal hymnal, and the words will be on the screen. I have some closing words today by Eric Williams. The world is too beautiful to be praised by only one voice. May you have the courage to sing your part. The world is too broken to be healed by only one set of hands. May you have the courage to reach out with yours.
These words are from Eric Hepburn, Extinguishing the Chalice. We extinguish this flame to remind us love is the center. As we explore and rest, engage and heal, love remains at the center. When all we can see is cold ashes, love remains. I have one announcement, well, actually two. There's a potluck after the service, and if you didn't bring anything, don't worry about it. You are welcome to come. There's always plenty of food. Also outside, right outside in the narthex, there are garden baskets for sale and marigolds. The garden baskets are $30. The marigolds are $4. This is a fundraiser for East Rose. So if you didn't order one before, or you saw one that you just can't live without, King. Sure.
Sorry, I didn't make a formal thing. Two things. The 8th is the second Friday of the month, which means Snowcap, from 3 to 5 at the Snowcap Collection Center. So anybody that can come, it should be nice weather, but not overly hot in there. So, and then the next day is our work party here in the church grounds. So as many people as possible, I'll find you something to do. And come, gloves, energy, and again, it's going to be a beautiful day out. So please come and join us for cleanup and yard work.
What's the date again?
8th is Friday, Saturday is the 9th.
9. Okay.
The cleanup, 9 to 12.
Thank you, Keen. Now please join me in the unison benediction. Go out into the world in peace, have courage, hold on to what is good, return to no person evil for evil, strengthen the faint-hearted, support the weak, help the suffering, honor all beings. As Susie said, I hope you will all stay for the potluck. Next week, we will have spirited conversations after the service and talk about this service and that service, kind of matched together. And please remain seated for the postlude.
Everyone that has participated in this wonderful service. Go enjoy the potluck and this beautiful day.